What would you think if I told you that you were going to sell your house, your car, and your entire life savings for a single flower bulb? You'd probably think I had lost my mind. But if you're shocked by the crypto crazes or the irrational surges in today's stock markets, believe me, you haven't seen anything yet. Welcome to Tulip Mania, the first major speculative bubble in history and the world's very first financial crash. This mind-boggling event, which took place in the 17th century Netherlands, isn't just some boring financial history lesson. It is the first proven example of human greed, mass psychology, and just how incredibly dangerous financial markets can be. People were trading their massive mansions without blinking an eye for a tulip bulb that hadn't even grown out of the ground yet. So, how did this ordinary flower become the most valuable asset on Earth? And how did it eventually wipe out the economy of an entire nation? Today, we are taking a very close look at how modern financial bubbles were actually invented 400 years ago, and the unchanging mathematics behind market crashes. It all started during the Dutch Golden Age, when the Netherlands was the wealthiest trading hub in the world. The tulip, newly arrived in Europe from the Ottoman Empire, had vibrant colors the Dutch had never seen before. Almost instantly, it became the ultimate symbol of wealth and status. It was exactly like owning a rare sports car or $1 million NFT today. At first, only the nobility bought them, but soon, everyone was repeating the exact same phrase: buy tulips and you will be rich. This is where the story spirals completely out of control. Demand grew so incredibly fast that people started saying, "I'm not buying this flower to plant in my garden, I'm buying it to sell it to someone else for a higher price." Bakers sold their ovens, carpenters sold their workshops, and farmers sold their cows just to invest in tulip bulbs. It got to the point where they started buying and selling paper contracts for a tulip that will emerge from the ground next spring, even when there was no actual flower in sight. In today's financial world, we call this futures trading. Everyone was day trading, and everyone was becoming a millionaire on paper. At the absolute peak, a single rare tulip bulb called the Sea Augustus reached the price of a massive, luxurious mansion in the most expensive district of Amsterdam. Can you imagine? One flower equals a luxury waterfront estate. Everyone believed prices would rise forever, and no one even considered the possibility of losing. Right at this exact moment, before we see how that magnificent system collapsed overnight, and how terrifyingly similar that crash is to today's markets, don't forget to subscribe to the Prince's Ledger and like the video, because the real tragedy only begins when the music stops. The date is February 1637. A standard tulip auction was taking place in the city of Haarlem. Everything seemed completely normal. A seller called out a high price, but no one in the room raised their hand. He lowered the price a bit, and still, dead silence. Imagine the silence in that room for a second, and the sudden fear in people's eyes. The doubt, are prices finally not going up anymore? Escaped that room and spread across the entire country like a virus. Within seconds, an unbelievable panic erupted. Everyone was desperately trying to sell their tulip contracts, but there wasn't a single buyer left. Prices crashed like a waterfall. Millionaire bakers and wealthy merchants lost absolutely everything overnight. Because behind those expensive pieces of paper, there was no actual fundamental value. There was just an ordinary flower bulb. Tulip Mania taught us the most ruthless and unchanging rule of economics. The true value of any asset is only exactly what someone else is willing to pay for it. Take a look around you today. Whether it's the empty internet companies of the early 2000s .com bubble or joke cryptocurrencies featuring pictures of dogs with absolutely no technological project behind them. The names change, the technology changes, but that greed to get rich quick and the massive crash that always follows never changes. When you make your own investments, never forget that cold winter day in 1637 and those who were left holding nothing but a rotting flower bulb. To continue decoding the repeating patterns of financial history, stay tuned to the Prince's Ledger. See you in the next entry.